Nursing was not really ever my end goal or plan. Frankly, I became a CNA because someone told me it was a one semester program. And when you're 18 and
Yeah.
you're in a shitty relationship and your head's not in the game, and I was doing college classes, but I would drop a lot of them if they didn't hold my interest. If I was interested, I'd ace it, but then I'd withdraw from three of them. And I heard one semester for this program, and I thought, that's the attention span that I have right now. So
Yeah.
I can do one semester. And so I did and started working as a
It's
CNA. And every nurse that I worked with just kept telling me I need to go back to school. And I worked agency as a CNA. So I was in a new place every day, new
okay.
setting. And nurses just kept telling me, they'd pull me aside and say, Erica, you need to go back to school. You're going to make a great nurse. And I didn't really hear them saying that to a lot of other CNAs. So I clocked
Mm.
it in the back of my mind that really wasn't in the headspace to go to school at that time. And I kept working as a CNA for a few years and then finally went back to school. So yeah, my entire adult life has been nursing since I was 19. I really don't know anything else.
It's funny how life interjects like that. I think before, when you're younger and idealistic, you think in terms of the grand scheme of things, what I want to do, my impact. But you start looking at the numbers, so to speak. This is how much college is. That's the big reason I joined the
Yeah,
military. I can't afford nursing school, and I can't hold on to any money without putting it into projects that I want to do.
right.
And just life comes in there and you do these little assessments and you make these huge decisions based on stuff like that. I just want to get away. The subprime market issue happened in 2008. New York City suddenly it wasn't as glamorous as it was anymore. And just that alone, I was like, I think I'll join the military. It doesn't seem as negative
Yeah.
as it used to be to that person that I was. And I always find that intriguing, what makes people do what they do and how much real life cuts in and leads them down a path that they did not expect. What made you go to CNA? So you're 19. It was just that program that you could do it quickly. That was it. Like
Yeah.
you never thought about taking care of people before
No,
that?
my mom had worked in a nursing home when I was really young, and she used to take me to work with her quite a bit. And one of her very good friends was the charge nurse. They'd call him the head nurse back in the day. And so I was around it as a kid. And so it didn't seem very scary to me. And when I heard the one semester, I was sold. And I aced that program.
Yeah.
I aced it.
It's funny because the simplest thing, my dad was in the Air Force for 3.5 years. I used to put on, when I was like 10, 11, his old Air Force coats and just that
Yeah.
little familiarity.
Well, and you want to hear something
Uh,
funny? When I was in high school, having no plans to go into nursing, one of my first jobs was coincidentally working in a uniform shop, a scrub shop in the mall. And I didn't know anything. We sold stethoscopes and all the ugly nurse shoes back in the day and all that stuff. And I think back now, I'm like, okay, that was some weird God thing trying to point me
mhm.
in the right direction. Because what are the chances everyone else is working a burger joint or something or a movie theater? How did I
Right.
end up selling uniforms to nurses in high school?
I'm not even very religious, even though I've had near death experience in my past. And I don't think in terms of that, but I look for signs everywhere. I
Me
look for
too.
little connections. And no doubt, just you get a little whiff of something like maybe you imagined yourself wearing scrubs for a couple of moments when you were younger, and it does something to your psyche that you don't realize until later. Like you said, oh, I could do something like this. You've been doing this for 20 years. You've seen a lot of changes in the
Closer to
profession, I'm
30.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, even from 2018, I was in medicine from 2008 onward or '09 onward, but I became a nurse at 18. And even from 18, there have been a lot of changes, certainly with COVID. As I look back and I talk to older nurses, whether they established HIPAA in 1995 or we're now using these little handheld devices to scan meds or medications are being offered with different routes like chemo. Now you can get an injection of that. Like I am chemo. It's nuts how things are changing, but it's like that saying, the more things change, the more things stay the same. In your experience, in this breadth of 30, almost 30 years, do you think nursing is in a better state or a worse state or it hasn't changed?
I think, let's see. Some things have stayed the same, like patient advocacy, the pride in being a nurse, core values, that kind of stuff have stayed the same. But the flip side,
Let me get one. Let me just get specific on that. I don't mean to cut you off. For example, before COVID, I used to think that medicine was this sort of dance between it's a business and we have to take care of people. And during COVID and after, it seems like it's a lot more a business than I thought it was. Um,
absolutely is.
so that's where I'm getting at. And I'm not trying to cast a negative light, and I'm not an anarchist, and I don't want to tear anything down. Just want to have an honest conversation about it because the numbers of nurses who leave the profession,
Yeah.
they can't be ignored, and there's a reason for it. That's why I'm heading in this direction. But I'm sorry to interrupt you.
It's okay. You're right. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Some things are better, right? Increased scope of practice, that's going up all the time compared to what nurses used to be able to do. There's some improvement in the misogyny behind nursing. For example, we're not getting up and giving a doctor our chair every time they grace us with their presence on the unit anymore. That sort
Oh,
of.
I haven't been doing that.
I've
Oh,
never
man.
done that, but
Oh,
that used to be a thing, right? But overall, are we better off? No, not at all. We have never been at more of an all-time low for nursing than we are right now. Criminal prosecution of nurses, the violence has just escalated increasingly every single day, it seems. And we've lost the public trust. That's the biggest hit from COVID, right? Is we lost the public trust. We had like over 90% huge trust in the nursing profession forever, for decades and decades. But since COVID, that has plummeted.